Hello and welcome to Do It Yourself RC. Today we've got a new 3D printer to review. It is a Steadytech Pro X and it has been supplied by box.co.uk. Now this is a quite a big printer. It's a 300 by 300 by 400 printer and it is a direct drive. It's got auto level. It's got a magnetic bed. What else? It can print up to 100mm a second. Extruder goes up to 235, and it says here that the bed can go up to 60 degrees, which seems a bit low, but we'll find out. So all I've done is opened it up and we'll have a look inside. So inside, as you can see, it seems well packed in this very thick foam sponge. We'll get some bits out. That looks like the filament guide. Remove this packing, and that actually looks like, oh look at that, I think that's the direct drive extruder. I must admit that feels quite solid, that. Oh, and it's even got a rubber sock on there, silicone sock on your hot end. Anyway, right, okay, bits more out. This is your main frame that you can see. And what I'll do, I'll take all these bits out and lay them on the table and we'll come back in a second. So what have we got? We've got the main frame and it's dual Z motors on there. You've got a box, by the looks, filament. Now I think that's your filament holder. I mean, that doesn't look very long. We'll see about that in a bit. There's your extruder again, and this is the main unit. It's got a touch screen on it. By the looks, that's an SD port there. And well, there's your power supply. That's different. They're usually on the back. What else have we got? Some spare connections there. I think your bed must be tie wrapped on for now because I can't move it. I'll have a look at that in a second. Some more wires there. And then we've got this box here. Let's open this box and we'll see what's inside. So inside this box we've got UK power lead, you've got the auto level probe, some zip ties, ooh, something in there, that looks like that's the filament, that's a filament spool holder. Don't know what's in here. Let's have a look, shall we? I know what these are. These are the T brackets for the uprights, and that's your Z end stop. So then, in here you've also got an SD card. Now apparently all the instructions on how to put it together are on this card, but we've also got a quick start guide here, which is here. So a quick start guide. So I'll have a look at that now. Now apparently it takes about an hour to build. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get it built and I'll come back to you in a minute. there you go, 10-second build. Well, 25 minutes. The only problems that I found building it were the actual T-nuts on these side pieces here. They were actually came packaged back to front. It was just a case of taking them off, turning them around and putting them back on. But it's just something to take note if you're building one. The other thing that I had really was the direct drive. It actually clips underneath and then tilts back, and then you're putting your 3 screws at the back. But other than that, not a problem at all. You've got 2 screws underneath on each side. You've got 4 grub screws on this side and 4 grub screws on this side to hold the silver L brackets on. And you've got 4 each side to hold the T pieces on. You've got 3 screws for the direct drive extruder and 2 screws for the filament holder. Didn't have any more other problems than that. And now I'll give you some feedback on the printer because I've actually been using it for about 4 or 5 days now. I printed quite a few things. I printed a benchy to start with, and then after the benchy I printed Spider-Man, and then after the Spider-Man I printed a Thanos, and then after the Thanos I printed another Thanos, and this print was 36 hours. And to be honest, it's been flawless. The printer itself hasn't had a single problem. The direct drive extruder is something you would probably find on a much more expensive printer. It's well put together, it's got injection molded cover. Yeah, it's just been outstanding. I love the way it's got a magnetic bed. You can take the prints off as soon as they're finished. You don't have to wait for anything to cool down. You can just lift it up and it just peels straight off. I love the fact that it's got a touch screen. I'll go through the menus in a bit with you, but yeah, not a problem at all. What else have I got? There were a couple of things I don't like on it. I don't like the fact that you've only got little adjustment wheels underneath. Now these adjustment wheels that you can see now are something that I've designed and printed, and it just makes it a lot more easier to adjust the bed now, so that's that problem solved. The link for those are on Thingiverse, or I'll probably put it down below. And also the filament holder. When I first got it out I thought it was a bit short. Now I've not got any rolls here, other rolls. Now it takes the Steadytech filament no problem, but what it doesn't do is take any other filament. It generally just falls off, and because it's at a slight angle on top, it's no good. So I've actually, as you probably saw before, I've designed a new filament holder, and that solves that problem as well. What else don't I like? I did actually make some notes. T-nuts on the back to front, small filament holder and small bed adjustment screws. Right, oh right, okay. Usually on some printers you get like a bed leveling routine now, so you'll go for the first point, second point, third point and fourth point, and it'll automatically move the head around. Now this machine doesn't have that, so you've basically got to home the machine, and then once it's homed you can then go to each corner with your piece of paper and just manually move it. I mean, it's not a big problem, but it would be nice if it had the auto routine there. So that's level, that's homed now. You press yes, and then all you do is you move it to the corner you want, put your piece of paper under it and adjust it to suit. So you want it just so it's grabbing it. And then you do that in each corner. I've actually been messing around with this one. You do it in each corner until it's all done. And then it's also got what's called a auto level routine. So you can press your auto level and it'll pinpoint as it goes around. I'll show you that in a minute or two. But to sum up first, I think it's an excellent printer. It's very good quality for the money. The star of the show is definitely the direct drive extruder. There's no messing around with boning tubes or trying to load the filament. It just goes in and out dead easy. I like the touchscreen. It's very simple to use, very easy to build up, and yeah, it's got power out. I've not tested the power out yet. I've not tested the filament out. I presume they work, but I've not tested them yet. I've done about, I don't know, 60, 70, 80, 90 hours print on it. Not a problem at all. Tried various different filaments, PLA Plus, PTG, PLA Normal, all no problems. Now to do the STLs, I've been using Cura 4, which is free to download, and I installed it as a profile as the CR10. So CR10S, CR10, I installed it as that profile, but then I changed the retraction rate down to 1mm. I think it was set at 5 to start with. And that is the profile I've been using. It's the correct bed size, everything else is correct on it. Just the retraction rate I changed because of it's not Bowden, it's direct drive. And that's about it really. It's been faultless, really good. Now let me just double check I've mentioned everything. Yeah, oh, the other thing I need to mention really is it's a UK printer. You can order it, it'll come the next day. There's no import tax, so there's nothing to pay on it. The current price is about 330. I think it's come down from 350. On Amazon for 399, but if you actually buy it from box.co.uk, you'll probably get a better rate. Their customer service seems very good from the reviews I've read online. Nothing else really more to say about that. It's UK support, yeah. What else? Got a few things on here. Oh yeah, the only connectivity on it is an SD card. There's no Wi-Fi, no network, and no USB port. So if you're happy to use, and it's a full-size SD card, it's not a micro SD, so that's good. Comparing it to something like the CR10 where you've got your separate control box, this is built all in one. Because it's not a small printer at all, it's quite a big printer. It's quite heavy as well, so it's very sturdy, doesn't move much at all. And I think that's about it. So yes, I'd recommend the printer, definitely. Love the direct drive extruder. I've not tried any flexible filament in it, but I've no doubt that'll work straight away, because there's no Bowden tube. And well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the review. What I'll do now, I'll go through some quick setup things. So if you bought this printer and you want to know how to set it up, I'll do that now with you. But if you're quite happy just to go on your way, then well, you take care. So then, setup procedure. When you first get your printer, when you first build it, it's possible that the x-axis might be slightly off. So what I'll do, I'll hold onto one of these x-axis drivers and let's make it off. So it's lower that side, it's higher that side, and we're not sure whether it's level. Now sometimes a lot of people say, well, bring it down and put a ruler underneath just to check it's level. Turn the printer on. I personally think it's a lot easier just to lift it all the way up to the top and it'll actually self-level itself. Self-level itself. Is that right? Anyway, we'll just turn it on. There we go. And I'm just going to go into the manual mode and I'm just going to hold down Z+. Not the fastest machine, but it's going all the way to the top now, and what it'll do, it'll self-level when it hits the top of the gantry here, and then you know it's level, and it's going up, and it's going up, and it's going up, and it's still going up. So you can hear that. That means it's at the top. And it looks about equal. So then, all I'm going to do now is click the home button, and this will bring it all the way back down again. A bit quicker by the looks of it as well. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make sure this bed is level, and to do that use a piece of paper. Before you do anything, just check that you've got no bits of filament or rubbish underneath between the magnetic bed, because that wouldn't be very good. Put it back on. So all we've done, we've turned it on, we've took the x-axis, all the way to the top. It's self-leveled, and it's come all the way back down, and it is just homing. Now if you've installed the sensor, which you should have, mine's probably about 3 or 4 mil off the top. I mean, it doesn't really matter. As long as the red light comes on when it's homed, then you should be good to go on that. Okay, so that's down as far as it goes. I'm going to click, it says completed there. Let me see if I can get that on the camera for you. It says completed there, and I'm just going to click yes, yes, and now it should allow me to move the bed. So I'm going to put the piece of paper, I'm going to put it in a little bit, probably about 30 millimeters each way, and I'll just turn the screws, and what I'm looking for is just so it starts grabbing the paper. So I'm quite happy with that one, and then we'll move to the next one, about 30 centimeters in. Now that's too tight, move it a little bit too tight. There we go, same as the other one. And I'll do this one. Too tight, too slack. Okay, and I will do the last one. That's tight. Now, if you've not printed these wheels, this is where you can struggle getting underneath to get the knobs to turn. But you only need to do this once, and then you can print the wheels and then take them off and put them back on. Nearly done. Right, I would suggest once you've done each 4 corners is you have a look and you check that they're near enough correct. Let's go down a little bit more, and a little bit more. It is worth spending time doing this, because it'll make a massive difference to your quality of print. So once you've done that, which I'm quite happy with that now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to press Z adjust. Now what this does is it goes around and probes the bed in, I think maybe 16 places, something like that, and it then creates a mesh in its memory of what the bed looks like, whether they're high spots or low spots. And so the next time you use it or print with it, it remembers that mesh, and it should give you a perfectly good first layer. So we'll just let it go through its routine now, and I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, now that's it. It says adjustment done, and click yes. So if this is the first time you've done the printer, you will need then to load the filament. So I'm going to click on filament. Now I'm going to click on unload and then reload. You will only need to actually click on load. So as you can see, it's warming up. Actually warming up quite fast now, already up to 50. And as you can hear, the cooling fan has started for the heatsink inside the extruder. It's good that it automatically turns off if it's under 50 degrees. So one, you're not wasting energy, and two, you're not wearing out your cooling fan when it doesn't even need to be running. Now a lot of other printers around a similar price point don't offer that facility. It just basically runs all the time and that's it. So what are we up to now? 140 and increasing. So I guess stick some new filament in because I've got a new project I want to open it. So it says unloading begins, press down spring, presser and withdraw filament. So where's my camera so I can show you what's going on. So you can see there, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to press this lever down here and just pull the filament out. It's as easy as that to take it out. And then I'm going to put some nice orange filament in. We just get let me get some snips. Oh, that's another thing. You don't get any snips with it. It would be nice if you got some snips. Okay, so this is actually Steadytech Orange PLA that I'm going to be using now. And I've fed it through the filament sensor, and I'm going to then click load filament, and it's saying I'm heating up again, and it's lifting the nozzle up. And it says load begins, push filament vertically into extruder. And there you go. It's quite easy. And all we need to do now is wait until it comes out the bottom. So it's just purging the silver out, and then it's going to slowly go to orange. And then I'm going to click done. There you go, you've got nice orange filament now. And that is it ready to print. Now I'm going to start a print off. So build, let me get that on the camera. So you've got three options here. Let me go through them actually. So you've got tools, you've got filament change, which is load and unload, that we've just done. Z height, and that's your auto level. Your home, your manual move, so you can manually up it and down it. What else have we got? We've got settings, which is factory set, resume print, filament check, and Z offset. Now your Z offset, that's your auto level on or off. Status, just the temperature. and a speed fan, and about. And that's all you've got on that screen. Preheat, you just heat the bed and your extruder, and then build. So click build, and you've got one drive, so you go on that drive, and then all you do is you can page up, page down, and I'm going to do a bench sheet, so I'll click bench sheet, and then I'm going to click build. So there you go, it's reached temperature and it's just homing, and then it should, fingers crossed, start the print. Now it's actually purging the filament now. There you go, looks like it's printing. Can't really see much at the moment, but what I'll do it on time lapse, and that's pretty much the end of the review. Hope you've enjoyed it. I've got a few new projects and a few more printers to review in the next coming weeks. I've got an RC plane to build that was printed on this machine, and I've got a 3D scanner as well. So if you want to see those projects, or in fact if you want to see some more printer reviews, then subscribe and well, let me know what you think. Take care.